Hello, everybody. This is White Wolf, and we're going to be going live and talking about following our inner intuition, following our gut instincts, and also following what resonates inside of your heart and acting for yourself and doing something for yourself, and knowing that you have the ability to make the choice to do something for you, and to also know that you can go in a different direction and know that you're going into the right direction, the direction that speaks to you, knowing that you're going into full tilt and you're going where God's source energy leads you. And following your inner intuition means that you're not solely relying on your guides to give you information, but you're allowing yourself to tap into the relationship between God's source energy and yourself, so that you can become your own creator God and you can become your higher self. And once you allow yourself to do that, you become a channel and a guide, and you allow yourself to follow your inner intuition. Now, the higher self is outside of ourselves, and yes, we have guides all around us all the time. Yes, we do. But we don't always have to channel our guides, and we don't always have to follow our guides' guidance, but we have to follow our guidance, and we have to align to our emotions and our thoughts and our actions, and also what we're supposed to represent on this earth plane when we're growing as a group consciousness, as a understanding of truth, of an embodiment, of following that breadcrumb trail of excitement and laying out your map of deliberate creation. So when you allow yourself to do that, you allow yourself to be the container of source, because you contain everything that you want. Everything that's already happened has already happened. So we just have to allow ourselves to be that gravitational pull and be that magnetic force, so that we allow it to unfold and happen, and allow it to integrate itself and transcend upon the human moment where we are right now. So follow your inner intuition. Always go with your gut instincts. Always go with what feels most in alignment right here, right now, in the present, and it will never mislead you. Sometimes we can do things impulsively. Doing things impulsively does not always yield results, but I will say that when you make a split decision, and sometimes when you make spontaneous changes and radical changes, it can come out to a good outcome, but you're not always focusing on the outcome or getting muddled in the details of what is going on. So don't always think that you have to be impulsive, because I think being impulsive can lead to things not working out for you, and then you get yourself into a position that you don't want to be in. But sometimes allow it to gel, allow it to resonate, allow it to integrate itself, but also allow it to fluctuate with your energy, and allow yourself to kind of think about it, allow yourself to intend about it, but also amplify the energy and the intention and the positivity and the empowerment that comes with that said decision. Don't always feel like you have to pull the trigger right then and there, because when you follow your inner intuition, you will know what to say, you will know who you need to talk to, and you'll know what needs to be made manifested, because you are the manifestation of life. So when you're following your own inner intuition, you're allowing yourself to act for yourself. You're allowing yourself to think for yourself. And you're also allowing yourself to channel internally, instead of trying to find something externally outside of yourself to channel from. That's why a lot of people in the spiritual community, they might channel a lot, they might have a lot of guides, they might be siphoning energy from these entities, but what I'm really saying here is that you can channel from your own inner intuition and become a master intuitive. And you're here to become a prophet, and you're here to become the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. So when you follow your own inner intuition, you get to pick your emotions. You know that when there's emotion that arises or triggers you or makes you upset or makes you angry, you know that that emotion is trying to tell you something, or that trigger is trying to tell you something. And a lot of this has to do with our past lifetimes as well, following our inner intuition, because sometimes there's blocks, sometimes there's karma, sometimes there's relationships that need to be had, soul contracts, twin flames, and all that jazz, and soulmates that we have to experience. Sometimes we have to experience certain catalysts, certain lessons, and also go through certain phases and stages within our life, because it allows us to have the maturation of the soul. So a lot of it has to deal with like, okay, this person can give you words, and it's like myself. I can give a live feed, I can say all these things, I can conduct a meditation, but then you have to follow your own wisdom. And if this inspired you, then I'm blessed by that. But really, just knowing that a lot of people can give you wisdom, a lot of people can give you healing, but at the end of the day, it's that inner intuition that never fails you. It's that seeking impulse that will always drive you. And it's always going to be the thing that allows you to receive more and to heal more and to know that you're able to cleanse yourself from generational curses, from the limitations that plague you, and also the people in your life that are toxic, or maybe a toxic pattern, maybe something that's going on in your life and it keeps on coming up and up and up. And then sometimes you just have to know, you have to realize that it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outer appearance. It doesn't matter about the details. It doesn't matter what happened in the past, because we are fully in the present and we are here to embrace our inner intuition, our inner wisdom. And there's a lot of ascended masters. There's like Jesus, there's Archangel Michael. That's all well and great, but Archangel Michael and Jesus and all those entities want you to become the greatest person that you can become, to be the best version of yourself and to be better, and to also just know that you're here to be alive. You're here to be born again. You're here to live again. So you get to start over. So when we follow our inner intuition and we become a little seasoned on the path and we're able to meditate, and we've had a few around the block, and we've kind of had a lot of situations, we've dealt with a lot of people, we've had a lot of clients. So, but we still at the end of the day have to channel our inner wisdom and our inner intuition and what's inside of ourselves, because once we embrace it and rejoice in it, then we don't have anything that defines us. Not even our blissful states, not even the things in our life, the circumstances, the people, all of the other stuff. It doesn't define us anymore when we channel from our inner wisdom. So don't make everything have a connotation or a concept or a definition. Allow it to be energy. I believe that God is energy, God, source, energy, if you need to break it down for yourself. I believe we are trying to become a source of energy, a source field, a source code of creation to generate different individuation of creations, to build civilizations and to build communities as well. So I wanted to get on here, and I'm glad the internet connection's great. I'm glad that people are liking the live, and I really, really appreciate it. And if you've never been on here, and if you're on other platforms, you can book private sessions with me for $70 for psychic readings, healings, activation codes, downloads, and YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, Instagram, whitewolf4741, and BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23_@ So what I wanted to really get across with this video is that when we channel our inner wisdom, we activate a vibration that has been locked away. We're remembering our old self, and we're letting go of anything that is made of distortion, whether it's being a narcissist, egotist, put down artist, whatever it may be. Maybe it's the pessimist or anything like that. So we're here to unlock the keys of our destiny. We're here to unlock different gateways and portals and different ways of creating, and understanding that we are the mass projection of the light body. So we're here to become the inner wisdom, the inner intuition, to become a light body, a body of light, Christ consciousness. So we allow ourselves to see that by going with it, by knowing that when you follow the truth and when you align your emotions, which align with your actions, you have self-realization, but it also turns into intentionality. And it also turns into your personality becomes your reality. And as you changed your personality, you allowed yourself to change everything about your life, because you embraced the change, because you didn't fight it, because there wasn't restraint, there wasn't restriction, there wasn't something holding you back or holding something over your head. Because I do believe a lot of people are too hard on themselves, especially in the spiritual community. We're too hard on ourselves because we feel like we have to be the best version right now, but we don't have to. I mean, earlier today I was in the kitchen cooking, and I had a lot of rush of healing just come out. And it just came out just abruptly, and it was just like I needed to have some space. I needed to have that peace, and I just needed to let myself be sensitive and vulnerable and just open. Allowing yourself to be open to receive. Allowing yourself to be open to the very fact that you can be whatever you want to be. This person asks, how can I communicate with your spirit guides, or our spirit guides, or your spirit guides? I'm thinking you're saying your spirit guides. So the way that we connect with our spirit guides is to understand that we need to call them in and set the intention, but also we need to call in the right spirit guide. So you can write it down on a piece of paper, like what you want to say to them, how you want to connect with them. But also it's just, calling them in. But also you have to have the discernment to say, reveal yourself to me. And then that person, that entity will reveal themselves to you, not that person. Or it could be a person, because we're all entities. So that's another way that you can connect with your spirit guides, by the way, if you wanted to ask that question. But I think that's a good point to go off with, is that you need questions. But it's not always about the answer. It's not always about the outcome. It's not always about the information that you're getting, but it's the energy that's behind all of it, behind the ideas, behind the inspiration, but also behind the different revenues and streams that you can generate from being prosperous. But you have to live fulfilled, and you have to be rich right now. You have to be loved right now. You have to be fulfilled right now. You have to live in gratitude right at this moment to follow your inner intuition. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have moments like I did earlier where I just felt like shit. You're going to feel like shit, and you're going to get pummeled. But as you pick yourself back up, as you keep rolling with the punches and knowing that you got to dodge here and come with a right and then with a left, right? So you're always going to have that with the spiritual journey. But it's all just integrating the shadow, and it's allowing the light and the dark aspects to be one. So just know that it's always one singular truth, and it surpasses all understanding, and it also surpasses all questioning. So don't let your circumstances define you. Don't let yourself define who you are. Allow yourself to be the confirmation. Confirm what you are, and then you don't have to define it. Show up to your life as if you're meant to be there, and then you don't have to have the anticipation of showing up. Okay? Also, I wanted to say that I have a $50 psychic class if you wanted to also take part in that. I forgot to tell you guys that. But if you guys have questions as well, I'll try to answer them if I'm not too blabbing too much. And we'll also do a meditation if you wanted to take part in that as well. And if you're on the other platforms, just know we're going live on TikTok. And thank God the internet connection's good, because I've had problems with the internet. It's just crazy. But life is crazy. The spiritual awakening is crazy. Just don't think that you're crazy. It's okay to know that you're okay. Just know that everything that you're seeing, everything that's being reflected to you, everything that's happening and setting up another initiation for you to grow is always going to be the way that you master yourself. And this live is just as much for you as it is for me. So just don't think I'm talking to you. I am doing this for myself and also for you, because all my channel messages are for me, because I have to watch them back and see how I'm reflecting back to myself. And that's what we're all really doing. And I think that is very humbling, is that we are a mirror ourselves. And that's what allows us to follow our intuition. Because people can mirror back, circumstances can mirror back, experience itself can mirror back to you. But once you're mirroring back the Creator and the I Am presence within yourself, so you're allowing yourself to see that nothing can change what you are now. All you have to do is keep reflecting that Creator and accepting that Creator, having true non-biased acceptance towards that. So there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that can't be done in the infinite realm of possibilities. We are infinitesimally blessed, and we are absolutely favored, always. God favors the bold. God favors the ones that are courageous enough to go on this path. And we are all here just to channel our own wisdom at the end of the day. We are here to channel our own embodiment. We're not here to be like someone else. We're not here to be like an entity. We're not here to be like Jesus. We're not here to be like anybody else but ourselves, our most authentic selves. So that's all that we need to do, is to empower ourselves past the motivations of all manifestations. So when you don't even have to motivate yourself, when you don't even have to empower yourself, when you don't let anything define you, and you just absolutely go with it with the utmost faith and security and love and integrity, everything will start working for you and working around the world that you're encompassed in and encapsulating that light. So don't take my word for it, but if these words are speaking to you, then that's beautiful. And you have to see the beauty through the circumstance, through the experience, through the catalyst, through the changing of the seasons and different relationship dynamics, and also just life in general. If you can find a good attitude and a good vibration in something to live for, then God bless you. Because that is becoming God's source energy. You're becoming a source of energy. So the way to open your force field is to know that you're always safe and you're always protected and you're always encompassed in that golden bubble. And then there's more layers that come after that. Then there's a 10-layer protection grid, and then there's a kingdom. So you can reign king. You can be rich. You can be blessed. You can be amazingly gifted. But are you going to receive it? Are you going to follow through? Are you going to act on it? So all of us on the spiritual awakening are having our feet put to the carpet and being held accountable and relaying to one another and co-creating this mass awakening. So when we're channeling our inner wisdom, it means that we're not going by what a card says. We're not going by what our friend Becky said. We're not going by what Tony Robbins said. But we're going by what resonates and what fulfills us and what brings us gratitude, but also what breathes the sense of achievement. And that's the science of achievement, is fulfillment. So we have to feel as if we achieved everything. We have to feel the victory before it happens. And we've already been inside of every world that's ever been experienced. We've just forgot. And the reason why we went through the veil of amnesia and we were led to forget, and our higher self allowed us to go through this once again. So if you don't want to go through this earth plane once again, then I suggest that we really work on ourselves. And this is for me, and this is also if you resonate with it, because all my messages are for me. And I had a psychic a long time ago tell me that all my messages are for me and I need to watch them back. And that was like a big bitch slap to the face, because the spiritual awakening always allows you to mature. It always allows you to build on your character, to not lose your integrity, but to know that you're on the path and you can't go back. And once you get to that point, there's just no turning back, and there's no way to think that way or to be that way or to emote in that way or to look at that concept in an unconscious way, because we're finally learning how to balance out our subconscious with our conscious mind. So While we're dreaming at night, we should have beautiful dreams. While we're doing chores around the house, we should just be thankful. When we're going through a tough time, we should have love in our hearts. When we're in action, we should demonstrate grace. It's very hard. It's pretty hard on the spiritual awakening to do that, because you're aware of energy. You're going to the store and then suddenly, like, I feel like crap. But do you have to feel like crap just because you went to the store? No, you don't. And I've had to really learn that, because I truthfully don't like going to the store. I prefer not to. If I had the money, I would get it delivered. But sometimes we don't have that luxury. And we have to be out in public. We have to experience like group settings and having clients. So we can't be too much of an introvert. We have to learn how to balance being an introvert and an extrovert, and also not being able to be so closed in. But going your own way doesn't mean you're closed in. It means that you're making this decision to embark on this spiritual awakening and to follow your dreams and to stick with it and just keep going and never giving up, because you want to become God. You want to become your own source of creation, your own creator God. That's why I do believe that God's source energy wants us to become a source of energy. So I compare it to the way that Jesus was, because a lot of the stuff in the Bible that Jesus did, he did it with dignity, with discernment, and also did it in a way that people understood what he did. Also, people like Joan of Arc who stood for something, or Notre Dame who had a great gift but didn't know how to control it. And Robin Williams, had everything. And I was watching a thing with Tony Robbins that was so beautiful. But he said that Tony Robbins said that Robin Williams had everything. He had a kid, he had a wife, successful movies, successful stand-up career, and then he was unhappy. He wasn't fulfilled. He made everybody else happy around him, but he didn't make himself happy. So if Robin Williams was able to make everybody else happy but didn't make himself happy, then he was able to manifest in a great way but wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't the science of achievement. It wasn't like completion. It wasn't feeling whole. It wasn't feeling favored. It wasn't feeling ecstatic about every single moment. So we have to emit that frequency now, emit that prosperity now, and we have to emit the now present moment and be forever now. So that's why be the confirmation. Don't let things define you. Don't let things shake you off the path, because they're all just, in a sense, trying to get you back to that greater love and forgiveness and acceptance within yourself. So I think we're going to be doing a meditation soon if I don't have anything else to say. I hope the internet connection's good. Please let me know if it's not. But also book private sessions with me. This is White Wolf. If you've never been to this channel, thank you for being a part of this channel and this live feed. Thank you so much for liking the live. I really, really appreciate it. And also, if you want to book a class with me as well, a $50 psychic class as well, you can do that as well. So we're going to do a meditation. So with this meditation, I want you to understand, when we're doing this meditation, I want you to allow yourself to see that you can be what you want. You can channel your own inner intuition. You don't have to give your power to anything. You're only surrendering to the power within yourself. That's what you're doing. You're coming back to God. You're coming back to your source of creation. You're coming back to the individuation of creation that created you, that generated the spark and the light and the appearance of all things, which is consciousness. So that's what we're going to do with this meditation. It's not about being right. It's not about being correct. It's not about being this or that, but it's just allowing the flow of energy to be presently there and to awaken and alive in us once again. So we're going to do a meditation. So you can lay down, you can focus on an object. You can have your eyes open if you feel led to do that. But just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to gain a sense of perception. Allow yourself to feel good. And everybody take a big, deep breath. Exhale. So I want you to do something. I want you to feel fulfilled. I want you to feel completed. I want you to feel whole. I want you to generate the sense of holisticness and understanding how can I have streams of frequencies, that radio frequency that can connect me to how I'm supposed to manifest so that I can tap into universal love that surpasses all understanding, and that I can finally channel my inner wisdom. My inner authority, my words of wisdom that allow me to give heart healing activations to the entire collective. So how can I be a genuine source of energy, of love, of forgiveness, of understanding, so that I can be that for others? That I can allow myself to let go, to surrender, and to channel the power that is inside of myself. My inner intuition that will always allow myself to come back again, to be able to take responsibilities that seem too tough to take, to make decisions that seem scary to take, and to be a difference maker, to be a risk taker, and to allow myself to let go of fear. How can I let go of fear? How can I let go of being a concept? There is not a definition. There are not words to describe it. So let's not give it a definition. Let's not define it, but let's us be the confirmation. To be this source of genuine empowerment, because it allows us to be the motivation without having to motivate the self. So that you can use your psychic abilities as a way of loving people, as a way of opening up hearts. Allow yourself to plant seeds, not to spit on the seed, but allow yourself to plant seeds. And when you do this, you're just channeling from your source of energy. You're not channeling from this guide or that energy over there, but you're channeling your electromagnetic kinetic source energy, because you're changing the polarities and you're charging up the frequency. You're giving yourself a chance to come back again, to reclaim your old self, to heal all the karma in the past lives, or the past mistakes, or even the past itself. And it's okay, and it's all fine. And it always ends in grace. It always comes about in the way of grace, so that you can open up, so that you can heal, that you can heal your unworthiness, that you can deal with what you are not dealing with, and also with what you're suppressing. And also just following your heart. It comes from your gut instincts, but also it comes from your heart. Trust your gut, trust your heart. And then when the mind comes into balance with your gut instinct and your heart instinct and your body, that means that the mind-body-spirit complex has come into balance with your true nature. Just be that divine channel for another person. Be that unconditional love for yourself. Use that way of subtracting to add more into your life. And just know that you have just begun. You have just started. Everything is coming back into balance. It's coming full circle to where you can become full tilt. But just remember yourself. Remember who you are. Love yourself to the fullest extent. Have that vibrational attitude. Carry yourself. And know that you're here to just impart. You're here to give wisdom. You're here to relay the truth and to share it and to become the channeled embodiment of God Source energy. So that you can have new DNA, a new mind, a new body. And then once you surpass that, once you surpass the physical sense, then you can embrace the non-physical sense that wants to be a part of the vessel. That's when you channel the embodiment of the higher self. I allow for the higher self's wisdom to guide me, to teach me, to show the way of the ascended master. Because the higher self and our guides and God's source, and then just be the power. Just be the way, and just be the love, and just be the light. No definition, no decision, just surrender, more power, and channeling it. And then living it and staying with it. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this live feed. I really appreciate you being a part of that meditation. I hope it blessed you, and it was a pleasure and an honor to be a part of your guys' lives. And also just know that you can book private sessions with me for $70 for 1 hour for psychic readings, healings, activations, and BitChute, whitewolftheoracle 23_@ and Instagram whitewolf4741, and YouTube whitewolftheoracle. And also I have a $50 psychic class if you wanted to take part of that as well. It can start anytime, so there's not necessarily a date or a time. But book private sessions as well. And just know that you can be whatever you want to be. You can follow your inner intuition and it will never fail you. Spirit never leads you astray. Spirit never leads you at the bus stop. Spirit never leaves us with questions. They always lead us with discernment, action, accountability, healing, understanding, and surrendering, and a transmutation and a transfiguration of the soul. So that's when we become that light. And that's when we become that light body. And then that's when we channel our higher self. And then that's when we allow ourselves to transcend into different ways of dimension, giving ourselves more dimension within our lives. So I want to thank you guys so much. God bless and namaste. Thank you.